everyone, this is Sam. Right, let's get on with a new question. Now, this one is an anonymous question. Since I was 14, I've been questioning my sexuality. I'm 19 now and not still sure about it, but I know I'm not straight. I've never talked to anyone about this before, but it's something that I need to get off my chest. I can't focus on anything but this anymore, and it's really tiring and depressing. I've been planning on coming out to my best friend. She's got some gay friends, but sometimes she seems pretty homophobic, and I'm scared things won't be the same if I tell her. What should I do and how? This is a very good example of when someone's sexuality doesn't go away. I often hear when I work with young people that they're not sure. From about 12 or 13 and 14, they're not sure how they feel sexually. But often it is just dismissed as a bit of a phase, wanting to fit in, under pressure on peers to be a certain way. And actually, in my experience, those that aren't sure about their sexuality can trust in their own beliefs that they know that there is something different about them. And they're often mocked for that. And I think that's not a really good thing at all, because as we have discovered here, this person at 14 knew there was something different about them sexually. And now at 19, you're still not sure. So that shows that it hasn't gone away. And because it's never been dealt with, you'll be being left with feelings of depression, possibly anxiety, and not actually fitting in. Which is why there's a question now on your friendships, on who you can trust and who you can't trust. The first person I would encourage you to trust above all else is yourself. Once you learn to trust you, then you won't put quite so much on other people to then evaluate you and judge you. And that way you'll feel far more peaceful as a human being. It means you do trust others because you know that you can trust your own judgment. So I would encourage you in this case to find someone you can actually talk this through, because there still is some confusion over your sexuality. Now that could be based on many different things. It could be based on deep beliefs, on whether it's right or wrong. It could also be based on you haven't had a relationship yet, so you're not quite sure whether you're comfortable in your own skin yet, either coming out as gay or bisexual or any orientation. And sometimes we have to get to know someone, connect with them, attach with them before we really know where we stand sexually, and that's not unusual. I think for you it would be important for you to first open up to someone. Like you say, it's finding someone who isn't going to judge you, isn't going to mock you, and certainly isn't going to tell you that you've got it wrong and it's just a phase. I have met people who in later life knew at 14 that they were gay and are still gay at 40 and 50 years old, having denied it for a lifetime and had a lifetime of stress and anxiety. But that was down to pleasing others. That wasn't down to the fact that they were acknowledging that they have a life of their own, they're entitled to live it as their own, and that there should be no pressure from any other person. We cannot control the way we are sexually. You either are that way or you're not that way. Some people may not always agree with that, but in my experience with working with clients, if they're gay, and that's absolutely fine and totally acceptable, and that's the way they're going to live the rest of their lives. For you, it would be important, I feel, if you can, to find someone to go and talk to who maybe will understand the difficulties that you're going through. There may be a local group, for instance, that you could go and talk to, and like a focus group if you like, who they sort of understand the difficulty with trying to come out, trying to understand whether am I gay, am I not gay. Because sometimes it's about loving a soul. You know, we cannot manufacture the way we feel. If we feel something for someone, we feel that way for them. no matter how they look, what they weigh, how they are with us, what sexuality they are. If you love a human being, you love a human being, and it tends to come from a very subconscious place rather than you know, if we were all human beings that just picked out certain people the way they looked and the way they are, then that would be a quite sad place for us all to be. So first of all, I'd like you to work on you. Once you've worked on you, then you can then come out to others in a way that feels safe for you to do that. You obviously haven't felt safe, and I can see with your friendship with this particular person who may or may not realise that some of the things they're saying or doing is coming over as homophobic, not realising that you are gay as well. It could also be that this person is almost subconsciously trying to force you to come out and face your own sexuality. So they may be saying things to just not antagonise you, but just hit a few buttons, because they may actually already realise that you are quite confused about your sexuality and that actually you are possibly gay, and maybe they're just trying to egg you on to get a reaction out of you. It's not ideal, but unfortunately some people do that without realising that they're doing it. So please forgive them, because that may be the case. If they are being genuinely homophobic, then that's probably not somebody who is going to help you through the next few months and years whilst you come to terms with your sexuality, and it might be an idea then to look at different friendships. But like I said, the first person to deal with is you. If you can find someone to help you through it. Now, I don't know where you live or where you're from, but I'm hoping that you will be able to access some professional services. You might be able to, for instance, go to your doctor, who can refer you through to a counsellor. Now, I know that I do mention this often, but often, you see, what counselling gives people is a safe, secure place to open up all those difficult feelings and thoughts that you're having, especially sexually, where you can be who you want to be in the room. Nobody's going to judge you. Nobody's going to know outside of the room what's going on until you yourself are ready to open up to people about your sexuality. So that's why counselling is often a very good place to start. Because sometimes when we go to friends, what can happen is that you sort of download your world to that friend, and then that makes you feel particularly vulnerable, which unfortunately can mean that you then close down. And as you close down, your friend might feel rejected, or you might feel uncomfortable around that person, and it can cause an issue within the friendship. On the other side, I have known friendships to be very valuable, and actually what you fear the most is the rejection and judgment. You then sort of take that leap of faith, tell your friend, and find that they are the best support that you've ever had. So it has to be right for you. Go with your gut instinct, listen to what your gut says, and I hope that you then find a way through this and can come out in whatever way you want, whichever orientation that you are, and that you're happy with yourself, that you accept yourself, that you're not ashamed, that you don't feel guilty, because you are a beautiful soul the same way we all are beautiful souls. And if we accept who we are without reservation and apologising, there's no need for anybody to apologise for who they are as far as I'm concerned, then your life will be a far more peaceful place. Thank you so much for your message, and as I say, this is a very good example of when we're young, just because we're 14 and we're confused doesn't mean to say we don't actually know that there is something different about us. So to all those young people out there who do struggle with their sexuality and doubt themselves because of their age, please trust in your ability to know who you are, and that's a fantastic thing. And like I say, it doesn't go away just because you're only 14. I would say I have people who are 40 and 50 that are still struggling. Anyway, I hope you find some help, and I'd love to hear from you one day to see how you got on. Thank you so much for your message. Right, thank you very much everyone. This is gorgeous Mr. Kipling, who was actually sat at my feet the whole time that I just made that message. Anyway, It's a goodbye from me, and it's a goodbye from him. Goodbye. Take care.